Hi there, I'm Sam from Rainbow Starlight, a brand new board game company here in Boulder, Colorado, and we're here to show you how to play our very first game called Hooch Stooges, featuring the Cartoon Mafia. So to start out a game of Hooch Stooges, first thing you do is you want to build a city. You shuffle up the city cards, and then you lay them out as directed by the instructions. We're going to set up a two-player game at the moment, but the instructions show you charts on how to build a 3-player game, 4-player game, 5-player game, even all the way up to 6 players. So, here we have some of the locations at the casino, the speakeasy, the pawn shop, the red light district, the boss's mansion, the hospital, the bail bonds office, the theater, and the hideout. Each player gets a set of tokens to show what their particular gang is and to mark their territory, and they'll take their headquarter tokens that's got the building with the 3 on it and put it on their starting location. For a 2-player game, this will be one person's starting location, and then the other person's starting location. Basically, the starting locations will be in the corners. So, then the next thing is we have hooch tokens that you can use to count your hooch, but you can also use dice or other methods to counting your hooch as well. Everybody gets a starting deck of 10 cards. That'll have 3 of these faceless goon cards that you'll use to attack your opponents and to defend your turf. And then they have an attack card. To be able to attack, you have to have the faceless goons and an attack card. And then the other 6 cards are the free money cards. And how they work is they have a discard value. Each card has a cost. In this case, it's 0. And then they have a discard value. And you use the cost when you're buying new cards out of the lineup, but we'll get to that later. What we're saying right now is if you've got a card with a discard value in your hand, you can discard it to gain 1 hooch, which is the resource used in the game. For instance, the Stooges, these faceless goons, also have a discard value in the side, so that you can choose whether or not you want to play one of these down to be able to attack and defend, or if you want to discard from your hand to gain a hooch. The attack card has a 0 on its discard value, so if you discard it for your hooch, you're not going to get any. Everybody shuffles up their starting deck and draws 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In addition to that, you shuffle up the main deck, which is the pile of all the other schemes and stooges in the game. Shuffle that up pretty good, and then you deal out a lineup of 5 cards. So here we have Emerald Twist, she's a stooge. Desert Posy, she's a stooge. Dr. Screws, he's a stooge. Joe Mama, he's a stooge. And Double Cross, which is a scheme card that you can replace an opponent's territory token with one of your own tokens. Just be like, boom, boom, what's yours is mine. So, after you shuffle it up and you draw your hand, first thing you do on your turn is you gain 1 hooch for each location that you have a token on. So I've just started out, I've got just my headquarters on the casino. So I get 1 hooch for that, I'll mark it with a die. In my hand I have a faceless goon. I have 3 free money cards and an attack card. So I will discard these 3 free money cards to get 3 more hooch, bringing me up to 4. For 4, I can only buy these guys for 3. Because this one costs 6, this one costs 5, and this one costs 7. You save the hooch for maybe next turn, but I do want to spend it, I think, this turn. So I could also discard my faceless goon to gain 1 more hooch and be able to get this one that costs 5, but then I wouldn't have a stooge to attack with, and I wouldn't be able to play my attack card. So I'm going to go ahead and play the stooge, put him in play, and then I'm going to use 3 of my hooch to buy Desert Posy and put her in my discard pile, and then you replace the card in the lineup with a brand new card, and then I can play my attack card. So let me attack. I can attack any territory to which I'm adjacent. I have adjacent tokens, or I can attack the territories that I have a token on. This is because these abilities on the cards you can activate only when you successfully attack them. And I have to mention the hooch chart, so I'll bring that up right now. So in addition to buying cards from the lineup and being able to activate these abilities when you attack them, there's also the hooch chart to think about, which is various hooch effects. For example, for 3, you can draw a card. For 6, you can get additional attack. For 30, you can even destroy an opponent's headquarters token outright. If you get 30 headquarters, you just, boom, take somebody out of the game. So that's important to keep in mind. Now, the thing is with these effects is they're all illegal. And before you do them, you have to roll a die. And depending on what you get, if you get a 6 like I do, you don't have to pay the cost for the effect that you're trying to get. If you get a 1, you get busted. Costs find out what you're doing. You have to discard a card from your hand. You have to discard one of your stooges from play. And you have to lose all of your hooch. But other than that, your turn keeps going. So also tagging is going to involve rolling die. So whenever you roll a 1, then you're going to get busted. So let's try that now. I'm going to go ahead. I have 1 hooch left. I'm going to go ahead and try and attack the speakeasy. So to do this, I'll swing my Faceless Goon by turning him sideways. I have to get a total of 1 to get a successful attack on the territory. He's got an attack of -3. So I'll roll a die and add his -3. He gets a 6. So that's great. 6 minus 3 is 3, which is more than 1. So I get to put my territory token on that speakeasy. It's now Mike's speakeasy. And since it was a successful attack, I can activate its ability. And since I rolled a 6, I don't have to pay for the ability, so which doesn't matter anyway, because this one cost is activated for 0. But it says each opponent gains 1 hooch token, and then I gain 1 hooch token for each opponent in play. That would be the end of this turn. I'd keep my Faceless Goon in play, discard any cards that I hadn't played from my hand if I had still had some cards in my hand, which you shouldn't, but if you did, you discard them, and you draw 5 new cards, and I'm saving this hooch for next turn. Now, if there is, with the expansion sets, there will be money cards that don't get cleared out at the end of the turn. But the hooch will stay there to be able to use next turn. So I'm going to go into the next turn, and you draw 5 new cards, and it's basically the same. You get your money card, your Faceless Goons. You got to get 2 for these in play, and keep going. Now, the last thing we have to talk about is if my opponent had, let's say I was attacking a territory controlled by my opponent, and they had goons, stooges, then I would have to get through their stooges with my stooges before I could take the territory, try to take it with my remaining stooges. So, let's say my opponent had, let's go with Emerald Twist in play, and they controlled this territory. Cool. So let's say I had my attack card, and I would use my Faceless Goons to try and attack them at the red light district. I would again swing one of my Faceless Goons and roll the die. I'd have to go after Emerald Twist, or I would choose another one of their stooges if they had more in play. So she's got a health of 4. So he's got an attack of -3. So even if he did roll a 6, then 6 minus 3 is 3, and he couldn't get her. But a 6 is a critical hit, and so that will automatically kill any stooge regardless of what their health is. So he'll give it a shot, not a 6. This one will give it a shot, 5, and this one will give it a shot, boom, 6. So she would discard from play, but I don't have any more stooges to come after and roll another die to try and take their territory. So I still wouldn't be able to get the territory, but I did eliminate their stooge. Then at the end of the turn, you unswing all of your stooges, draw 5 new cards, and pass the turn. Thanks for watching our video on Hooch Stooges.
We interrupt your daily programming to bring you Hooch Stooges by Rainbow Starlight. It's a new deck builder and area control card game. Invite your friends over to play around. Take over the opposing player's turfs. And fight their goons. Win the game and become Mega Cityopolis's biggest boss ever.